Hey everyone. Well, we're getting late in the semester. And for Module 6, instead of creating a video in the same style as what I did for the previous modules, I want to do something a little bit different here. What I want to do is to demonstrate for you a few different, slightly more advanced techniques that you can use with some of the AI tools to get a little more interesting results. Now, at this point in the semester, you should be well into the process of working on your final capstone project. This is really supposed to be the culmination of everything that you've learned throughout the semester, and it should be something that relates in a meaningful way to the work that you're doing at school and to what you intend to be doing once your program is over. And to help you with this, I just want to show you these few techniques which can get you some better results than just basic prompting. Now, the first thing that I want to show you is a way to effectively manufacture your own AI expert. Now, the AI tools that we have available to us are highly knowledgeable in a wide range of different topics. But their knowledge is not necessarily the best, the most cutting edge, the most suitable for any given thing. You'll find there's this almost, we might call it Reddit-esque quality to it. Some of the things that they talk about are really great and they give lots of interesting insights, and sometimes they'll just sort of spout off commonly believed but not necessarily the most accurate or insightful answers. Wouldn't it be great, you might think to yourself, to have an AI that is a true expert on something, one that has a comparable level of knowledge to the very top figures in a given field? Well, I'm happy to report there is actually a way that you can get the AIs to behave in something like that. One excellent tool that I highly recommend using in the course of doing research or really any time that you want expert knowledge on something is NotebookLM. Okay, NotebookLM is a fantastic tool where what you do is you can create a notebook, okay, and then you can upload whatever sources you want. So instead of just getting an AI, which, is trained on like the whole internet and trained on whatever huge range of sources, you just give it the things that you want it to use. Add the sources here. You can add different kinds of files. It doesn't accept every type of file, but accepts a lot. You can add websites, videos, things from your Google Drive, or even just copied and pasted text. You can even just search the web within here in order to find particular sources if you want to go for that. So just for demonstration purposes, for this, I uploaded links to a few different YouTube videos from one of the people who I think is really one of the leading intellectuals in the area of AI, which is Andrej Karpathy. And the AI will read or watch or analyze all of these sources that you've put. It'll give a little summary here. You can ask it questions. It will answer the questions that you have, even often rather precise questions about the sources that you've uploaded. You can get it to generate essentially podcasts based on what you've uploaded. a little video overview, mind maps, all kinds of good stuff. Okay, and if you ask it questions, it will show you where exactly it got it from. Okay, it'll give a little citation here, which is pretty cool. One neat thing that you can do, if you want to go even deeper into this, and use a tool which is maybe a little bit more powerful. NotebookLM is great, but it's not exactly the top AI model. It's a little more basic. So if you want to use the same sort of information you have here, but combine it with the power of one of the cutting-edge AI models, you can create a report. There's lots of different kinds of reports you can create here. You can get it to create your own customized sort of report, technical strategy, whatever. You can get it down here. You can then export this to your docs. Okay, so you'll have a document here. You can then, if you like, download this as a markdown file. Then you can go into something like Claude. Claude, which at the time of recording is probably the best large language model. There's some debate, and these things are always changing, but Claude's probably the most powerful at this exact moment. You can go into Claude, and you can create a new project, and you can then upload this markdown file that you just made into Claude. You can give it customize instructions as you like. Okay, so provide detailed insight into LLM-related questions. Whatever. You can give it more detailed instructions on how you'd like it to write, but let's just do this for now. And then your Claude model will draw upon at least a summary of those sources that you collected, and it will act almost as an expert in the field. Okay, so let's just test this out a little bit here. Okay, and it should go into a bit more detail than it would with a typical response. So that's one great technique that you can use to get better results out of your tools. You can just stick with NotebookLM. That will take you very, very far. But if you want to go even further, you can create some reports within here, get almost the summary, then put that into your Claude project, and you can combine the strength of Claude with the sources that you put into NotebookLM. Pretty nifty stuff. The second thing that I want to show you here today is to give a little bit of an introduction to what's sometimes lovingly referred to, and I believe it was Andrei Karpathy who actually coined this expression, as vibe coding. Now, in this class, we haven't really focused on this side of AI tools, how they can be used to help you code. This is definitely more specialized knowledge, and that's why it hasn't been a focus of the class. But this is really where you can see the AI tools at their most powerful. This is the area where I would say the most cutting-edge stuff is currently happening. It's in their coding. Now, if you are someone who is in software development or web development, you probably have some familiarity with this already. There's a whole range of different vibe coding tools that are extremely powerful. So things like Cursor, Claude Code, Codex, lots of good stuff out there. If you are not someone who has experience with coding, it's still worth dipping your toes into this area. We've now reached the point, I would say, where it's possible for people who are not programmers themselves to use AI tools to help them to create simple but still effective programs to solve different problems. Okay, I've made many myself, and although I have a little bit of coding background, I'm not entirely uneducated in this area. I certainly would not describe myself as being a developer or an expert in that. But here's what you can do if you have no real background and you want to get started. You can just open up a tool like ChatGPT or whatever, and you can create a project requirements document. Okay, so just describe what kind of app you're interested in making. Okay, so I want to create an app that will make mood-based music playlists. I want it to have a 90s tech aesthetic to capture the nostalgic joy of listening to music on Windows Media Player back in the day on Windows 95. The app should allow the user to select their mood and then prepare a music playlist of suitable YouTube music. Create the project requirements document for this app. Okay. So the project requirements document is essentially an overview of what the app is trying to do. Okay, it's a typical thing that you would make in any sort of major development project. And, ordinarily when you're making one, you'd probably not want to just have an AI do it for you. But for demonstration purposes or just to get you started, I think it's completely fine to do this. So go through, it's going to make the PRD. You can go through it, you can change it however you like. And we're just going to copy all this. Okay, some of this is obviously not exactly relevant to what we're doing, but it's a fine start. We're then going to just put that into a document. Just project requirements document. And we're going to use one of what I think is the most simple and straightforward vibe coding tools, which is bolt.new. Another good one that does practically the same thing is called Lovable. Both of these are very easy to use vibe coding tools. Okay, I want to build a mood-based music playlist app. Project requirements document is attached. You can give it more instructions, of course, but you can click here to just have it make a plan about what it's going to do before you execute. But let's just get started here for demonstration purposes. And So it's going to read through your project requirements document. The more time that you spend working on that project requirements document, the more detailed instructions you give, generally the better, of course. But this is a fine enough place to start. As it analyzes it, it makes a plan, and then we'll start executing. So here, it's going to start making things. It's got a checklist of all of the things that it's trying to do here. And you can see the code that it's starting. Okay, I just sped things up here a bit. It takes a little while for the whole thing to generate, but it's definitely a lot faster than trying to make this program the old-fashioned way. Okay, here we go. So let's try it. Oh, wow. So let's pick our mood. Let's go nostalgic. Oh, very good. And it'll link us right here. How cool. So, it's not perfect. I tried to log in with Google and it didn't really work the way that it was supposed to initially. So, very often, when you're working with these tools, you'll need to go back and forth with them a bit to fix some bugs. This is also where if you have some actual coding knowledge, that it really comes in handy. It may well be that you have the AI do a lot of the coding for you, but then if there's particular features or particular things that you want to fix, you go into the code yourself. With Bolt, you can connect your code to your GitHub repository. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But if you are familiar with that, it's something which will allow you to just edit the code yourself manually. Once your app is done, you're ready to share it, you can click Publish. And you can then share your amazing new web app with others. So I hope you found this interesting. This is something where if you've never written a program before, but maybe you've had some ideas about apps that you wish you could have, it may well be possible for you to make them. These tools aren't magic. There's some things that they just can't quite do, that are just beyond the technology, but they can accomplish a lot. So I hope you all have fun with that and create some interesting stuff.